right, Nanu, what's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in and doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. So let's jump right into it, man. You have a new song the song's been out already.
Yeah. So the video's coming out.
The video's coming out.
I feel that the video is definitely gonna have a bigger impact than just the song. Like the visuals, we really tried to go to like represent all the things that Toronto Tings do.
Yeah.
And really excited to show that.
Dope. Yeah. So the song is called Ting.
Yeah. Ting, ting, ting.
Nice. What inspired you to make that song?
Well, it was the video that got posted on SixBuzz, and now I learned to not look at comments, but at that time I was looking at all the comments and I was like, wow, like what a backlash for basically trying to stand up for women, and the fact that a lot of times women will be doing whatever they want and get this like, oh, you're a telly ting, you're a battery ting. And I'm like, did you battery her? No, you didn't. You're just saying that because you wish you could. So it's kind of like, aside from the comical side, because I always like putting comedy into what I do, a little bit of a female empowerment anthem.
Yeah. Dope, man. So talk to me about the SixBuzz video. Like what, because you have been posting on SixBuzz a bunch of times, right?
A couple of times, yeah.
Yeah. So which video in particular are you talking about?
So it was a little rant where I was calling out men for always calling girls tings. I didn't expect it. Well, everything that gets posted, I never expected to get posted. Sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe this will get posted. No, it's never that.
Yeah.
It's always that one thing that I'm like, oh, they grabbed that? But yeah, I was calling men out because every time I see like other female artists being posted, there's always, she's a telly ting, she's a battery ting. And I decided to comment out on that shit. I was like, hey, like, let a girl do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's not hurting you.
So what are your thoughts on that? Like on society, especially in Toronto, right? Like it's such a, I think Toronto's like, it has a lot of hate. Like we're quick to hate, man. We're quick to just go to that lowest common denominator.
Toronto culture is just, there's so much hate, and I do feel like Toronto blogs really do feed out of this negativity and all these comments, and it's just this competition of who has the meanest comments with the most likes. I do feel like Canada as a whole really has a lot of laws and things that try to make women equal to men.
Yeah.
But in a sense of a society, the diversity and the amount of cultures, even me coming from a Latin culture, it is a pretty patriarchal kind of culture. So I do feel like Toronto is really sexist in that sense, and there's a lot of patriarchal like ideas imposed on women. So yeah, I think that even though we do have the laws in Canada, there is still a lot to do in the sense of actually thinking as women equal to men.
So you're obviously an artist as well, right? So do you think that carries over to the music? Like you're saying, every time there's a female being posted, there's always this, negativity. Do you think that carries over to the music side of things too? Yeah,
to me, it's like all my last couple of tracks and the ones I am doing are based on female empowerment. As I said, I had people talk and be like, how is Ting based on female empowerment? Because I kind of try to put a comical side to it, so some people had a hard time taking it seriously. But even moving forward, I do get more political in my songs when it comes to women and feminism, because it's super important to I feel like all this movement of female rappers, it is so important to keep pushing it and keep understanding that like as women, we are here and we need to be heard.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the current like scene in the Toronto hip hop for women, right? Like, do you listen to, like, who do you listen to in the scene right now? Like, who are some of the people that you want to collaborate with? And
so I really, really like Rax. She's also my friend, Nana Goody. I listen to most of them. I also, even though I know that they have problems with Chromaz, I also listen to Chromaz. I think she has her thing going. Cocanina, like, her sound is amazing. I think that we're really moving forward in the sense of females, but I do feel that they don't get as much clout as the guys do. Like, kind of like the only girl that has been getting a little bit of clout is Chromaz, but then the other ladies are kind of left out a little bit. So I would really like to see more females put on by all these Toronto blogs, because I feel like all the attention is always to the men.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like the men are getting a lot more attention, but at the same time, a lot of them are dying, quite frankly, from gun violence and gang violence in our city. What are your thoughts on that? Like on all the violence that's been going on in our city?
To me, it's like I talked about it in one of my it was not really a rant, but it's this fact that in the Toronto hip hop scene, there is this image of trying to be hard and see who's more hood. And it's just always this message of constant violence. And look at what it's bringing us. Like, I feel like the message in music can still be amazing without having to be, and you can still be hard and have a strong personality without having to be aggressive and getting into these street fights.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing that's a part of it, though, right? Like, the music is, representative of what's going on in the communities, right? And what's going on in the hoods that are in Toronto, right? And obviously that's going to carry over to the music, and then obviously that's going to carry over to the violence, right? What are your thoughts on curbing that, though? Like, how could, how can we go about curbing that violence that's happening in the city?
I always think that music and talent should be used for a positive message. So I mean, I totally understand that people will have beef between each other, but if you have talent, use that for something good. Like, why are you spending your time, in my opinion, instigating on beef when you can use that talent to give a good message? Like, at the end of the day, most of these Toronto blogs, most of their followers are younger people in high school and stuff. Why are we giving them out that message? Okay, we have to put out a better message as artists for these young people.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point, because obviously you start putting out a positive message, and now carry on and so forth, and the behavior will help change the behavior that's going on in the city, right? But in terms of personalities in the city, right? Let's switch gears for a bit. There's personalities like, I interviewed Debbie. There's people like Bucks be ballin'. What's your thoughts on the Toronto personality? Because even for yourself, you're kind of like you're like a Toronto personality. Like, what's your thoughts on that scene that's been going on in the city?
I mean, there's a lot of personalities that I love, and to not explicitly give names, there's a lot of things that I don't like. I feel like some people are exploiting the younger ones for clout. And I mean, it's not nice exploiting kids.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think I'm being pretty obvious on what I mean. But
yeah. But what are your thoughts on like, I guess, it's obviously exploiting people is not really a good thing. But what is your thoughts on the scene in general, though? Like, do you think we're in a good space for like creatives in Toronto right now?
I think we are bringing out some pretty creative people and some pretty funny things, but I also think that there is people that we're giving clout to that are, as I said, or are kids, or maybe they're mentally not okay, and they're being used and they're making fun of them. So that is really, really sad. And I feel like in that sense, we're not giving out a good message. Like, if I open a page like Six Buzz and I'm someone like, I don't know, The Weeknd or Drake, and I'm doing all this work to put the city on, and now I see that you're posting someone who has mental issues and making fun of them, that's not nice. Like, I'm gonna be like, what? I'm doing all this work to put this city on, and you guys are making fun of people and being mean. Yeah. So in that sense, I don't think we're doing a good job.
So what are your thoughts on those pages, though? Like, obviously there's Six Buzz, there's, Fruitopia and Sprite. There's a whole bunch of different sites. What are your thoughts on those pages?
I think they're, like, in some senses, they're really good. It depends on which one. I feel like some of them do feed out a negativity way more than others. And it's a little bit concerning, but I think that it's cool to have all these blogs that kind of like keep us posted in what's going on in the city. Yeah. I'm from Argentina. We don't have that. So to me, it's pretty cool to have so many blogs that like tell you what's going on. But it would be really nice if as a city, we could work on making them less about hate and more about like news and spreading a positive message.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Like, if we spread more of a positive message, then I feel like we'll get that back. Like, whatever energy you put out there is what you get back, right? Yeah. So what are your thoughts on like the Toronto like IG model girls per se? Like, you know what I mean? You see these girls out at SDK and everything, right? And they're balling. Like, what's your thoughts on that scene? Because obviously Toronto, we're such a multicultural city, right? Like, you're from Argentina. It's a melting pot of people, right? Like, you can get Argentinians, you get Filipinos, you get Jamaicans, you get everybody's here.
I love the diversity in Toronto, which, as I said, kind of brings a little bit of this little bit of patriarchal thing into our city. But it's funny how most of these girls that we see in STK, Casimoto, like, hun, they're all in the game. Like like so many girls in Toronto are in the game. It is so normal right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if the word will be normal, but we don't realize how many of them actually are. It's kind of like a trend. Like all these bitches want to have a sugar daddy. All these bitches want to be like dancing or in a massage parlor.
Yeah.
So many fucking girls are in the game. So if you meet a girl and she got pictures in SDK and you know she's being able to pay for those lip injections and those hair extensions, I don't know.
For real, eh? So yeah, because obviously right now, like, it's a big thing that's going on. It's been going on for many years, right? Especially out in Dubai. If you see girls in Dubai, like I was doing a little bit of research on this actually, and like there's a thing called the Dubai Porta Potty. Have you heard of this before?
Yeah, I did. I actually know some. I'm not gonna give names because I'm not gonna start shit. But I know some big like Toronto Instagram girls that are said to be doing it. You know, you never see them at a club or with a sugar daddy, but they do take a little trip to Dubai a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
Get shit on for a couple of K,
Yeah.
come back, and then they talk shit about other girls. Oh my God, she's a stripper. Bitch, you just got shit on in Dubai.
Yeah, it's a real thing, though, right? Like,
I mean, I'm totally good with it, but my problem is exactly the fact that so many girls are in the game, and sometimes it is, not sometimes, most of the time, it's hoes against hoes, being like, oh, like, I am better because I have a sugar daddy and I'm not a stripper, for example. I'm like, girl, everyone's in the game. Like, stop fucking acting like you're better than one another. Just support each other. It's fine. Whatever you do, it's fine. But
yeah. So what are your thoughts on the whole sugar daddy type of life, man? Like,
I mean, if it makes them happy, go for it. To me, it's like whatever makes you happy, meanwhile it doesn't hurt people. Yeah, absolutely go for it. I feel like a lot of people a lot of times are so mad when they see these girls doing this, and I'm like, I get it. Yeah, they were born pretty or they got surgery and now they look pretty and they can do this and they have it way easier than you, but life isn't fair. You can't just be hating on them because they have the opportunity to have a dude give them money and you're like, I'm here having to work 15 hours and this bitch is sucking a dick for 10 grand. I'm sorry. Life isn't fair. Like, just don't hate people. Positivity brings back positivity.
Yeah. So I agree, man. Like we're saying, like, you know, like positivity brings positivity, right? Whatever you give out is what you get back, right? So like, has anybody ever approached you to be like, hey, like I'll be your sugar daddy, or like you have any stories like that you can share with us?
Yeah, I got a bunch, but I tried to do it, but I couldn't. I'm such a loner in a sense. Like, aside from all the rants and stuff, I like being alone. I don't like answering text. And these old men are goddamn annoying. Like, they're texting you. They want to talk to you. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Like, please leave me alone. Not my thing. But that's what people don't understand. Sometimes, like, people will be like, oh, it's so easy for this girl. I'm like, these girls are putting in the time. Having these sugar daddies is not easy. Like, you got to talk to these men when you're not interested in them. Yeah. When you don't vibe with them and you got to come up with, like, all this talk. I'm like, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah. So is there any, like, I guess, yeah, so you tried it and you're like,
yeah, I know. It was not for me. I was like, I can't be with people that I don't vibe with. It's just not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's talk about some of your story times, man. Like, your story times are freaking hilarious, I must say. You're a great storyteller, especially through Instagram, right? So one of the stories I liked the most was the battery thing, the battery family. Yeah. So talk to us about that, man. Like, that was such an interesting story.
Well, it was a little bit of an accident because basically I met this guy. Well, the first one, I met him after a night that I got kind of like a little bit drunk. I was brokenhearted. I had just broken up with my ex. So, you know, I acted a little bit slutty and I hooked up with a guy. Didn't know anything about him. And then a year later, I meet another guy in Hinge. And happens to be that he's like, hey, do you want to come chill after work? We're at my brother's condo having some drinks, whatever. And I go and I see the guy that I fucked last year. And I'm like, yikes. Oh, shit. Yeah. Like, here we go. I knew. I was like, get out of here as quick as possible. Pretend. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to act normal for the first half hour. But yeah, I'm guessing that I should have done it quicker. Yeah. But I walked out like a champ. Yeah. I was like, don't say anything and just walk out.
right? Just walk out.
Just walk out. That's usually how I get out of my situations. I don't confront situations, and I don't fight or anything. I just walk out. I'm like, I'm out of here. Thank you.
Well, speaking of walking out, there's a video or a post on your Instagram where you're performing, and then you have like the poo emoji guy. Right? You're like, yeah, this song is dedicated to my ex, right? So it's for the people out there. Are you single? Like, you know what I mean? If
Oh,
they're trying to-
super
people,
single.
People try to slide up. So talk to me about the guys sliding up in your DMs. Like,
Oh,
what's your DMs like out here?
DMs, they're pretty wild, especially the latest ones, because I had my post about like Jamaican food and stuff, and I'm like, yo, like I really want to go to Jamaica, and a lot
Wait,
of
that
people,
was you?
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of people took, I know it doesn't look like me. My
Yeah.
lips look normal. They were just blown up because I usually don't eat spicy food.
Yeah, so talk about that post, because we're gonna play it, but talk about that.
I never really had a real like Caribbean food experience like I did. Like it was like last Friday, and I was like, yo, like this food is so fucking good. And like I see the pictures of the beaches, and the guys are hot, and the girls are pretty, and I'm like, hey, like I need to go to Jamaica. Like I need to go to the Caribbean ASAP. And the video got posted, and some of these people took this so seriously, like emailing me their details of like, this is my name, this is what I do for work, I'm Jamaican, I can cook this and this. I'm like, holy shit, like I actually got so many, like this is amazing. They took it so seriously. I love it.
Yeah. So you're gonna did you like look through some of the resumes where you're like,
I looked,
yes, no,
I
yes,
looked,
no,
yeah.
maybe, maybe.
But the problem is, I truly, like, in a real sense, I really don't have time. I tried so bad to like go on dates and meet people, but I'm in school full time. I'm focusing in music, I'm working, and I'm going nuts. And I'm like, I really don't have time to meet someone right now, which kind of makes life a little bit boring, because then I just end up being that bitch that fucks around with people.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to meet someone. And I'm like, I don't have time, so I'm not interested. I'm sorry that I broke your heart. It doesn't help that I'm a Gemini, so.
Yeah. So speaking about breaking hearts and stuff, right? Valentine's is coming up, right? So say if you met a guy like tomorrow, what are you expecting from him on Valentine's Day? Do you want him to do anything, or is it kind of too early? Like, what, you know, because it's like 2 weeks away. So like, what do you do in that situation? What do you expect?
I would totally accept like, hey, do you want to go for dinner? But I'm definitely not a super romantic person. So if a guy came to me with like a whole bunch of roses and chocolates, I would be like, ew. I am really like not romantic. Just I like talking.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But don't big gestures, to me, they're not my thing.
So no trips to Jamaica, basically. That's what you're saying.
A trip to Jamaica, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, finesse. If it's all paid for, I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah.
But definitely no roses and chocolate. I'm not that
No
type.
roses and chocolate. Okay, so we're going to hook up the guys here. What's the first thing you notice when you look at a guy?
As some people are not going to believe when I say this, but to me, it's not. I mean, I can look at someone and feel like they're attractive. But to me, it's all about, like, this is going to sound so snobby, but intellectual stimulation. I need someone that I can speak to. Like, I've dated guys that you're like, what the fuck? And even me, like, because I do, like, find guys hot, and in the sense of, like, how a guy looks, my standards are really like, ooh, Michael B. Jordan, you know?
Yeah.
But if Michael B. Jordan came to me and right off the first 5 seconds didn't say something that catches me, I'm like, I'm not interested. Bye. In that sense, I need someone who can talk and who just knows things that can interest me.
Cool. So what's your ideal first date? Like, you know, a guy gets your number, you start talking. What's the ideal first date? Like, what should he do in order to, you know, get in your good graces, basically, to have a second date?
I wouldn't say that there's an ideal first date, because I like to be surprised. If it was ideal and I already thought about it before, then it's just not really my type. I want something that's completely out of the box and be like, oh shit, like this guy is so creative. He really came up with this, without it being too much, because then I get freaked out.
Yeah.
It's like first date, a whole bunch of roses in the floor. I'm like, ah. Shoo.
Yeah, he's doing the most. He's doing he's doing the most.
Don't try so bad.
Oh man. So what's your thought on like Toronto men compared to, I guess, Argentinian men? Like, you know, like Toronto men, we're I guess we're pretty straightforward as well. But what's in your experience? What's the difference between, you know, Latin American men and you know, North American people or men?
I don't know if I'll put it as in Toronto or Argentinian because it would be pretty similar. Mm-hmm. But if I do put it as North American men and South American men, especially Argentinians don't like to buy girls drinks, don't really do that. I mean, unless there's a formal, we're going on a date, like, you know how hard it is to mooch a drink out of a guy in Argentina? It's almost impossible. I feel like in North America, they're way better at catering for women. Like in North America, it's like a girl gets in the club for free. A girl gets free drinks. Yeah. In Argentina, that doesn't really happen. It's really, really rare. So I do prefer North America in that sense. I mean, Argentina, I love you. But guys, I usually say like girls are so like updone in Argentina in a general that it's like, everyone there is just always looking like a 10. Yeah. Usually when you go down King Street, maybe like the other day I was there and I was like, no makeup, no nothing. None of the promoters looked at me. They were like, no, we don't want you in this club. And then all the other girls with the heels, they were all like, come in, free drinks. And I'm like, well, thank you. Yeah. I get it. I'm not done up.
So what's your thoughts on like, what's the craziest night of partying that you've had?
Craziest night? Vegas,
okay.
Vegas, 100%. I was just walking in the casino and suddenly two guys with suits come to me and my friends and they're like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. And we thought we were in trouble. We're like, okay, that's it. We're going to jail. I don't know why, but I always think that I'm going to go to jail. Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm going to jail. For some reason that I don't know, I am. And they're like, come with us. I'm like, are we getting kidnapped? Like, what's going on? And they just take us into the club and they just walked us in as if we were celebrities, like a huge lineup just walked us in, put us in the back booth, and a really famous DJ called Hartwell was playing that night. And I was like, are we in the back of Hartwell's booth? And suddenly Hartwell comes in. It's like, hi guys. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Like I didn't even have my teeth done. I was like a solid 5. Like what? Like, why am I in Hartwell's booth? Bitch, I got crooked teeth? Yeah. Like, what's going on? I guess it was my awesome personality. I was walking down the casino and they were like,
Yeah. So you went in the club and just tore it up, had a good time in Vegas.
Yeah, no, Vegas is, as I said, North America. I didn't pay for shit. I just paid for my ticket, for my hotel. And then I met a whole bunch of promoters today are like, when you want to come to Vegas, you don't even have to pay for the flight, baby. You just let us know. For real. And I'm like, sadly, I'm a student, so it's really hard to be traveling around. But soon enough, I'll graduate and I'll be that hoe. Dope.
So talk to me about, so you're in school. I think I heard in one of your videos you're doing economics, right?
Economics and finance.
Yeah, so talk to me about that world, man. Like,
people usually think that I'm just like a basic bimbo. I know I look like it, but I actually, when I was in Argentina, I was in law school. When I moved here, of course, those credits didn't count because law is completely different in between Argentina and Canada. And when I got here, I had to do an undergrad. I couldn't just go directly into law, so economics and finance. I used to take school very, very seriously. I was straight A student, all scholarships, president of my course union. And then I just kind of realized, like, holy shit, like I put so much time and so much effort into this, and I really don't want to be doing this. Like, this was never what I wanted. I'm just wanting to make my parents happy. So I kind of had my rebellious moment, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm still in school, I'm still doing well, but I am allocating most of my energy mostly in music. Because if I have that drive, like, as I said, everyone always told me that I was an idiot. And I was like, because of the way I look, it's like, you're going to be a lawyer with those fake tits and your ass, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a lawyer. And I proved it to everyone that I could get those straight A's and those scholarships. And I'm going to do the same thing with music. Yeah. I'm going to prove them all wrong, baby.
Yeah. So talk to me about, let's flip back to the music side of things, man. So who are some of your inspirations, like, who wanted you, like, inspired you to get into the game?
Shakira. I love Shakira. I really, really look up to her. Lady Gaga, someone I look up to a lot. Cardi B. But I would say those are my three main ones.
Yeah.
Especially because of the backstories and stuff. Shakira being, a Latin girl from Colombia who was able to cross the border how she did. And also, like, seeing her life as an entertainer. A lot of times people ask me, like, oh, wait a minute. So are you a comedian or are you a singer? Like, or a rapper? I don't get it. And I feel like people kind of have forgotten that a lot of times you have to put on a really big show when you're on stage.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm all of those things, because when I saw Shakira live and I saw what she did live, how it's so much more than just the sing, it's the dancing, it's the talking to the crowd, interacting with the crowd, and all those things. It's kind of like brings together, I need to like show people my personality, because aside from all this, I'm actually pretty shy. So I kind of come out on stage or with cameras, but people have sometimes met me and like they have said hi in bars and stuff, and they're like, oh, but like you're more quiet and shy. I'm like, yeah. I just come out like on stage or in camera, but if not, I'm actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
Unless I have 15 shots on me.
Yeah.
Unless there's alcohol involved. But yeah, definitely Shakira and Lady Gaga as well, being someone that was always told like, oh, you're the famous Facebook group, Stephanie Germanotta, you're never gonna be famous. All the bullying she got and how she became Gaga is just, and Cardi having been like a stripper coming from a hood where everyone was like, you're never gonna be anything from a stripper, and then she became Cardi. Just huge inspirations for me. But yeah, so in the sense of music, especially when you start, you do need money to like make videos and make songs. And that's why I feel like people should respect everyone's hustle.
Yeah.
Whatever a woman, as I said, meanwhile, they're not hurting you. There's no reason for you to be hating on them. There's people who work tons of jobs, and there's girls who maybe can have the looks to hustle for the money. But as I said, meanwhile, they're not hurting anyone, and there's a good message and there's a positive message behind it. I think that it's all valid.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree too, man. Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? And you're kind of doing the right thing, I feel like,
I think that's the thing about Toronto culture, in a sense, is like, it's not even about, are they doing something to you? Are they hurting you? There's no, why does this bother me? Why do I have to comment and say that bullshit if they're not doing anything to me? There's this hate towards everything. I mean, I don't know where that misery comes from. Yeah. Or if it's like a popularity contest, but.
Yeah, I think Toronto historically has been known to hate.
My friends in Argentina are always like, what is going on? Because in Argentina, if they don't like your music, they just don't listen to it. There's no blogs where like, oh, hi, I like Jamaican food. You ugly fucking bitch. Look at your fucking lips. Like, okay. I just really enjoyed the oxtail. Ugly fucking bitch. You fucking ugly ass. Okay. Like in Argentina, my friends actually are blown away by this. They're like, holy fuck. And it's like, Toronto, you're so fucking amazing. And you have so many things to show. And this is what the world is seeing. A page, like, for example, and I'm all good with the people who run the page. Is nothing against Six Buzz. But like a page like Six Buzz with like over 1 million followers. And what are we showing to the world? That we are a whole bunch of haters. That any post is all about like, this fucking bitch, or oh, this person is ugly, or oh, this person is an idiot. And it's like, we're so much better than that. Like, we have so much talent. We have so much to offer. I get it that you're not going to like things. There's a lot of things that I don't like, but I don't go out of my way to, fuck you. Like, I got more important things to do. Yeah.
No, historically, I think we've been known as, because even back in the day, we've been known as like the screw face capital, basically like this, like looking at people all fucked up, like, yeah, get out of here and shit, right? Like, I don't know where it really comes from, or where it really originates from, but yeah, I think that's something that we definitely need to change as well, for sure.
And people get surprised because people are like, wait, Canada, like everyone's so nice in Canada. I'm like, in Canada, Toronto though, that's that one little city that little bit different.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like we had, last week we had there's a show called Life of the Dot. It's basically a web series that's showing, it's like a fictional web series of what's going on in the streets, right? So it shows people, like Like there's guys who are robbing people, there's guys who are doing good, right? So it's like that's kind of a representation of us that's going on in the city, right? Because right now, like you're saying, people from outside of Canada or international people would be like, yeah, Canada's so nice, like nothing bad happens in Canada. But meanwhile, right now, like
Yes, it does.
our the murder rate has gone down, but the number of shootings have increased, right? Like it's crazy, like all the shootings and violence that we're experiencing right now, right? So yeah, like what about traveling? Have you been to like the UK? Have you been to like where have you been?
I haven't done UK, but I like every summer going to somewhere in Europe. I'm a huge wanderlust person. I love traveling. I love history. And last summer I did Croatia and Montenegro. The other summer I did Italy and Greece. This summer I'm thinking of doing Spain and Sicily. I love traveling, and I'm really about like really old places and architecture. But I was really looking into doing the UK because I've been looking a lot to the UK, and I'm like, hey, it's really similar to Toronto.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a little bit less hate. It's like Toronto with less hate. That's kind of how it looks.
Yeah. They have, yeah, that's the thing too. Like even for us, like we're thinking about UK, it's like all prim and proper, right? But they're pretty crazy out there too, right? Like there's a lot of violence and stuff that's been going on over there too, right?
I think I'm still surprised of how similar Toronto and the UK in that sense are. I didn't realize it until like lately I started to look into it. Like, of course, Top Boy got us into it. Yeah. And now I'm watching like Sex Education and stuff. And I'm like, I'm really fucking with the UK.
Yeah, it's very similar demographics for sure. Right? A lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Africans, a lot of Somalians, there's a lot of people that are similar to in Canada, right?
Yeah, I definitely got to go to Jamaica though.
Yeah. So we talked about it before, but like, are you gonna go? Like, you have all these guys that are offering to take you there, man. Are you gonna?
Well, I mean, as I said, I got the offers, but I don't usually take them because, as I said, I can have a sugar daddy or a guy offer me, but I can't deal with them.
I know, but you're in economics, man. Supply and demand. You got the demand. You got the
I have
supply
a really
now.
short patience.
You know what I mean? You got it. You got the equation there. You got the pick of the litter.
To me, it's like my dream is just the guy to just send me a whole bunch of money and just be like, don't talk to me. Just send me the money. I'm going to go with my girls. Like, I just can't deal with the bullshit. Or at this time, I'm not in a time in my life to give time to men. I feel like a year ago, I would always say, oh, men are trash. And I realized that I was attracting that because I was not where I had to be. Like, how can I expect to have the right man if I'm not the right woman?
Yeah.
So to me right now, it's like I need to form myself as the right woman. I want to have my music be successful. I want to be where I need to be and where I'm aspiring to be. And then I'm going to think of men.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have time for bullshit.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy right there, man. But speaking of like men hollering, I know I touched on it before, but has any like high level celebrities hollered at you? Maybe.
But as much as I love to talk, I know how to shut my mouth and, be private. AKA, like, I know I don't want to get in shit. But yeah, no, I had a couple. I'm just going to tell a story. I'm not going to say who. Someone who was trying to invite me on a threesome and fly me out. I was really tempted, but I didn't do that. Because at the end of the day, my thought is I don't shit where I eat or I'm trying to eat. So when a lot of people are like, oh, you're actually not gonna fuck a rapper, I'm like, as much as I would love to, and I'm like, I would love to eat your dick.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to be seen as a groupie. I'm not here. Like, there's a lot of rappers that I think they're so cute that have talked to me and I'm like, it's not you. It's actually me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit where I'm not even eating there yet. I'm trying to eat here. I don't want to be seen as a groupie or some sort of hoe. So when I'm on top, when I'm up there, don't worry. You guys are going to be like a menu and I'm going to choose which one I want to eat.
Yeah.
But first I'm going to be up there.
Yeah, I get that. Well, speaking of getting up there, there's another I guess Latina too that's in our city, or that was in our city, that kind of got popular for throwing a chair off the balcony.
Oh, Marcella.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Marcella, man? AKA Chair Girl.
Chair Girl. So of course I'm not gonna say that what she did is okay. I totally don't condone what she did. I don't want to speak for her, but I'm pretty sure she is not, like, she's not happy about what she did either, and she truly feels sorry for it. But she is a really nice girl. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it at that. I'm going to keep it at that.
No, I get that. I hear that. So what's coming up? What can we expect from you in 2020, man?
In 2020, lots of music. We're getting highly political in one of the tracks. It's probably going to lead up a little bit unexpected because it's a really, really strong song and the lyrics are pretty, but I really want people to see that aside from the comedy and Ting being a song that, yeah, it has comedy and it's all about you dancing to it, there are other tracks that are coming that are way more serious, as well as R&B. We're putting out more Latin songs, more reggaeton, just way more artistry. A lot of I'm gonna get into acting, so you're gonna be seeing that, and yeah, just music and acting.
Dope, man. Dope.
And a lot of more rants.
A lot more. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Your story times are legendary, man. I really love your story times. Very entertaining, for real.
I feel like the thing of my life, I always joke and I say I should have a reality show because the things that happen in my life, it's like, how the fuck does this happen to you? Like, how do you get into these situations? You know, I have an angel and a tattoo of an angel. And the reason I have that tattoo is because I truly get into situations where I'm like, how the fuck did you get in that situation in the first place? And how the fuck did you get out unharmed? Like, my life the things that I go through, and that's how the rants are born. I live a pretty crazy life.
Yeah.
I feel it's because I'm actually like really welcoming to everyone and really nice, and I'm down to chill with like everyone that I meet. So then all this really fucked up shit happens because I don't really filter a lot. I'm just like, oh, you're nice. Okay, yeah, sure. I want to go to a party, and suddenly I'm like, where the fuck did I I think I should leave. But yeah, my life is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So can you share one of those stories with us before we wrap it up?
What would be the best one to share? Do you remember any of the crazy stories? Oh, okay. One of the good ones is when I first moved to Canada.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now I kind of lost a little bit of that innocence, but it's still in me. I can be really innocent and really naive. Because myself, I just like, I never have bad intentions. Like, that's when, for example, when I see negativity, I'm like, I would never do that. Why are people like that, right? So when I moved to Canada, I used to be a dancer, like an actual ballerina. And I moved to Canada, I was looking for jobs, and I going to Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I see that there's an ad saying that they needed burlesque dancers. And me, I'm like, yo, I did this musical. I did this number. Perfect. So I go into this place called Backstage Theater to do my audition. I went with my jazz heels with a corset full of rhinestones, like dressed like actually burlesque. And I mean, I should have known when I walked in and I saw there was a pole and a girl naked that this was not burlesque.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can you tell to an 18-year-old girl? I got on stage, put a chair on that stage, and I even did jazz hands. All the girls came from the back room to watch, and they're like, this was a full-on strip club, and I was dancing to burlesque, the actual musical. Everyone in the crowd was, and me with my confidence throwing jazz hands, like, oh my God, they love me. Look at all these bitches came out here to look at me. I'm like, bitch, it's a strip club. What are you doing with a corset and a chair on stage? Jeté, flip, tadu, like this, and I thought that I was killing it. I was like, yes, bitch, look at all these girls coming out here. I totally got the part. I got out of the stage. You forgot to take your clothes off. Say what? So yeah, these are the type of situations I get myself into. Walking into a strip club and doing a burlesque musical.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, you definitely need a camera following you around for sure. That is hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh man. So where can people find your music if they want to,
So Spotify, Nanu, or YouTube, Nanu as well. I'm not as the Crazy Latina. A lot of people think it's the Crazy Latina, but no, I'm as Nanu. That's my artist name. But yeah, I'm excited